Hello, Broncos Country! Welcome to this week's edition of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on MHRT Network. The Denver Broncos are on a roll, 2-game win streak. They just beaten the New Orleans Saints, and they've just beaten the Carolina Panthers, and now they're getting ready to go on the road to Baltimore, where they will attempt to make the Ravens say nevermore. Guys, I am so pumped about this game. I'm a lot more confident about it than I was a few weeks ago. We have so much to talk about. There is so much energy. Why don't we just get down to it? Welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. Let's go!
Smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Denver pride in every view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins and the lies and the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
What is up, Broncos Country, and how you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to this week's edition of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. I am Johnny Baki, the Mile High Viking. With me, as always, my cousin, my childhood best friend, and my co-host, Jay, the Denver Dream Weaver. What's up, cuz?
Well, how you doing here? It's a good night to party in Broncos Country. Vibes are high. Vibes are high, man. How are you doing?
Vibes are very high. And you know what? Tonight, our vibes are even higher because we're about to introduce you to the newest host on the Orange and Blue Network. He is a Denver Broncos superfan. His face was on the program for the Broncos game at Mile High against the Panthers this last Sunday. He is the one, the only true Broncos luchador. His name, he is known as Broncos Libre, but we know him as Elias Valderrama. Please give him some love. Welcome, Big E. What's up?
Let's go! Yeah, come on. So excited. Yeah, come on.
Wow, dude, look at him. He's in full character. It's not even game day, and he's full character right now. Broncos Libre, right here with us, the newest host to join the Orange and Blue Network. E, how are you doing tonight, man?
Doing well. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing here for us.
That's great. That's great. And you guys will be his show is not quite ready to debut yet, but in just a couple of weeks, Big E down here will be joining Adon Diaz. You know him, you love him, the 6'10" Mexican, with a brand new, entirely in Espanol Denver Broncos podcast called Viva Los Broncos.
Yeah,
It's going
boy.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah! Ándale, vámonos,
Dude,
Broncos!
I was about to get turned up, man. You turned it off. What happened?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I will turn that back on. There you go. Oh, yeah. It's a bad DJ move on my part.
Oh, dude, what in the world? But hey, guys, I'm so excited. We are bringing an entirely in Spanish podcast to the Orange and Blue Network to reach all of our fans out there who speak Spanish, who are not so fluent in English. These guys are going to absolutely rock it, and I'm so pumped. I'm so excited that he is joining us on the network because he is just as big a fan as we are. Right now, he's got the votes way more than I do for Fan of the Year, so dude, we gotta show him some love. So, guys, please join us in welcoming, the Bronco Libre.
All right, let's go, guys. Hey, super excited.
Oh, us too, buddy. Us too. We've got Clayton Heron already in the house saying, "Hey, guys." He also says, "Smash that like button and share." I couldn't agree more. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, guys. If you haven't already, if this is your first time or you're watching over on MHRT Network, please jump on over to Orange and Blue Network. Like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and catch the audio version of every one of our podcasts on all your favorite platforms. But if you're watching this on Orange and Blue Network, I beg you, please jump on over to MHRT Network. Like, subscribe, share, comment, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. Hell, MHRT's even on Instagram. So make sure you guys are showing as much love as you can because we love you guys and we want to keep that going. Guys, I am so excited right now about the way this is all, the way the season is playing out. The Broncos keep on getting them dubs, which
I was just say, Bronco Libre, you come in at a perfect time here where honestly the vibes couldn't be higher in Broncos Country. Like Cameron Parker started 5280 podcast today saying the vibes were immaculate. And this calls for it. Going into some, good competition, man, you come in at a perfect time to just everyone be happy, right?
Oh, absolutely. And just the excitement just here in Denver and in the stadium, you feel like Bo Nix is going to be the guy. Like you can just feel it and see it right now, which is wonderful.
It's such a good feeling, man. And we've been high on Bo. A lot of people have been down on him, but at least myself, I can speak for Jay. We've been sitting here going, everybody calm down. It's coming. It's coming. Yep. And we're starting to, and I said it, Jay, you remember, and everybody shook their heads at me. I said, be patient. Be patient. Have patience. I know that Broncos Country has had to have patience for almost a decade now, but a little more patience and it's going to pay off. We're starting to see that patience pay off. D-Rock is also in the house. He says, fellas, gives us a big round of applause. Good to see you, D-Rock. We love you, brother. Guys, the Broncos got the dub this week. They've gotten 2 dubs in a row. So now it's time for you to go get your own dub. Okay? And the way you're going to do that, you're going to show some love to the sponsor of today's show. And the link can be found in the bio below. It is Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend over at dubby.gg. This stuff is awesome. Every single cup of Dubby comes with 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in a multitude of flavors. I mean, look at all of those. And that's not even all of them. It's amazing stuff. We swear by it. And the reason that we swear by it is because you get the energy you need to start your day, but you don't get the jitters or the crash later. Why? Because Dubby has no sugar. It has no calories. It has no maltodextrin or fillers or artificial colors. Dubby is as natural as it can be with nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, caffeine, and nootropics, including their own patented nootropic called Neurofactor, which helps keep you sharp as you go through your day. It's amazing stuff. I highly recommend. Guys, that's how you go get yourself the dub. All right? But I'm going to make that dub even a little bit sweeter because what you're going to do when you get over there, you're going to punch in code NRWOB10. That's NRWOB10 at the checkout to get yourself 10% off your order. It's amazing stuff. We appreciate their sponsorship. We swear by it. So this is how you go, just like the Broncos did, get yourself the dub. All right. Bam. We are done with that. Housekeeping is out of the way. It is time to just talk Broncos. So, guys, I'm going to start with Big E on this one. Jay, I'm sorry. I'm going to skip right over you. I've seen you all. I've seen you for the last 34 years.
Everyone's heard my voice already.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with Big E on this one. So, E, I know that you saw in our group chat today that the voting is out there for Rookie Player of the Week. And Bo Nix, with his 124.9 passer rating, is in there right now in the voting for Rookie Player of the Week. Man, how you feeling about that?
Being at the game itself and being able to see him actually perform and seeing him be that quarterback, this is his best game that he's had so far this year.
Absolutely.
And being able to be accurate the way that he was, making good choices, like it's well deserved. If you're looking at the stats right now, he has the best stats out of all of the rookie quarterbacks at this point. So if he doesn't win this, it's an injustice itself.
Which we know happens because let's be honest, Broncos country gets overlooked all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Well, and I mean, to the opposing person, I guess the devil's advocate here, Jalen Daniels resides in a city that is an East Coast city, and one of those media darlings that like we get a little, East Coast bias to us, obviously, in a lot of those voting. Same thing goes for goes. So those are the two horses right now. Jalen Daniels, Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, the media is still so ridiculously high on Caleb Williams and Jalen Daniels. They forget about Bo because Bo's in Denver. But the fact is, you cannot ignore the stats. Right now, Bo Nix has better stats than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
A lot of people do.
I'm just saying, but I'm saying as a rookie.
Yeah.
As a rookie quarterback, he has better stats than the reigning Super Bowl champion quarterback. And the guy who's supposed to take them to God, I hate this phrase, the three-peat. So, I mean, I'm really hyped. I'm really pumped about Bo. And I really think he deserves, not just Broncos country's votes. I think he truly deserves the votes. I mean, there's a lot of guys on the list from this week. I can't remember them off the top of my head. That are in the voting for Rookie Player of the Week, but he hasn't gotten it yet this season. Hell, he hasn't even been in the voting this season before now. So I think he not only deserves Broncos country's votes, he deserves the votes of the entire NFL because of his performance the other day. I mean, what do you think about that, Jay?
Oh man, I just think we have seen multiple versions. Oh, like this view.
Oh yeah.
I just think we've seen multiple versions of Bo Nix this year. We've seen the conservative Bo Nix. We've seen the aggressive Bo Nix. We've seen mistake-prone Bo Nix. It's been far more peak and valley for him than, say, Jaden Daniels that's been pretty flatline. And Caleb Williams has been not even a high note. Like, there's not a notable game out of Caleb Williams yet. So, like, Bo Nix has the trajectory. We have a long season still yet to play. I mean, by the season end, Bo Nix is trending to be a Pro Bowl quarterback, honestly. Overall, let's not talk about rookies.
Absolutely. I mean, do you agree with that statement there, E?
Oh, of course. We only saw like a very limited potential of what he has. And I also feel that Sean Payton, especially at the first two games of the season, not knowing what he truly had. So he was limited, I guess, with the playbook itself. But now that he knows what his capabilities are, he's opening that playbook for him. And I think he's really tailoring it to Bo himself. And you can see that he's starting to flourish within this offense itself, which we haven't seen in 8 years.
We really haven't. And that's the thing is, we've talked about it for weeks. And I know that you haven't really been watching or anything, E, but for the last few weeks, like Jay and I, on every show we've done, be it on this show or the pregame show or the postgame show, we've talked about how important it is for Sean Payton to let the leash out a little bit on Bo. He was keeping him too close. I've made the reference constantly. I'm a veteran. I'm wearing my hat today. And I have a service dog for my PTSD. And, he's always on my hip and he's always within like arm's reach. But like, I've made that reference like that. My poor dog, he's always, constantly under my command, but that Bo needed to be let loose a little bit. Maybe not off the leash completely. He's not, he is still a rookie. I get that, but come on, like let it out a little, give him a little slack. So, and we're seeing.
I totally agree with that itself. So if he can continue just to do what he's doing right now, and he's proven that he's able to handle his offense, what's going to happen when we get to the end of the season and we're steamrolling? Like these NFL, predictors have already said, oh, the Broncos are the worst team in the league. They're only going to win 3-4 games, and we're now at 5. So
then the over-under is 5.
5.5. 5.5. So literally one more win and it's payday, boys.
Oh yeah, man. My bank account. Oh my god, I can't wait when that happens. We're gonna get that, and Jay, it's just, I mean, it's great.
I told people to put their 401ks on 5.5 over. Like that was an insane line for us. And I mean, all we can say now is,
I thought you said go, Bo, go.
So, you know, we're just very, I'm here for it. I'm very hyped about Bo. And guys, if you're watching right now and you haven't done it already, in fact, even if you have, because you can put in multiple votes, in the bio below, you will see the link that takes you to the voting for Rookie Player of the Week. So jump below, click on that link, go on over and give Bo the love he deserves. Let's all, as Broncos Country, let's all, as Orange and Blue crew, let's get Bo Nix Rookie Player of the Week. Let's do it, guys. We've got this. We can. We have the power.
Let's do it. Go out and vote. I've already done it all day long. And then I'm going to do it again once I
probably dropped like 40, 50 votes at this point.
Yep.
Like, you know, I did. I worked all day at my real job, my big boy job. This is where I get to be a big kid. But you know, my day job today, in between cases, whenever I'd get a case delivered or something like that, man, I was sitting there. I was like, all right, vote. Okay, time to get back to work. So, you know, let's make it happen, guys. We are strong. We are Broncos Country, and we have the power. Let's do it. So, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Bo, and I can't wait to see more.
I was going to say, speaking of seeing more, I mean, just to kind of foreshadow this next matchup, we're going to learn a lot about Bo Nix in the next couple of weeks, I feel like, with two very crazy atmospheres that we're about to play in.
Sure.
I mean, I can't wait to see how Bo Nix reacts to at Arrowhead. I feel like that's going to be such a, hey, Bo, if you're our guy, you're going to play this away game once a year. So let's see how you perform in the toughest, you know, probably the toughest stadium in the NFL, I would say, pound for pound. One of them.
Yeah, I mean, Arrowhead is for sure. You know, Ravens Nation is no joke, dude. I mean, that's a tough stadium to play in, and they love their boys up there. Nobody loves their team like Broncos Country loves their team. I don't care what anybody says, but they love their team a lot up there. They're very passionate fans. And so, yeah, it's gonna be rough. Now, I want to bring this up. You know, obviously, we're on a roll right now. We got two more wins under our belt in a row. Both teams we were supposed to beat, but we've already seen several teams we've beaten. Excuse me, it's them bad lungs. Oh God, it kills me. We've already seen the Broncos beat several teams this season they weren't supposed to. So we're gonna march in to against the Ravens, who own the exact same record as we do right now, 5-3. And I am, after what we were able to witness on Sunday out of the Ravens against the Browns, is your confidence in our team higher now than it was before against the Ravens? Because, we talked about it, Jay, on the pregame show. If the Ravens lost to the Browns, there would be blood in the water and the Sharks would be circling. And when we march into Baltimore, the Ravens are going to be out for blood. So
they will. But just like what we were just saying about Kansas City, divisional games are and things happen in divisional games because you play, opponents really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could be different for Kansas City. I think Baltimore is the easier match, but the hard.
We lost Jay completely. Oh no. Well, we'll keep it rolling here, me and you, until he gets back. What do you think? Do you think that there's more confidence now in the Broncos against the Ravens because of how the Ravens played, or do you think that they're a more dangerous team now than before?
I looked at it and I was talking to some one of my coworkers. He's actually a Browns fan, and part of it is he also was saying I was surprised that they won, but again, I said it's a divisional game. The divisional games themselves are so much different. You have to throw away the records. Who cares where they're at? They just play each other a lot more tougher. But I like how you're mentioning, there is that blood in the water that they just got beat by the Browns, and they're going to be coming out a little bit more intense, especially with us coming in. But I feel like if our defense can play to the level that they have been all season long, and just step it up and not let some of these easy plays go along, Lamar Jackson is not going to be able to do much. I think we're going to be able to contain them enough that our offense will take care of their defense itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And real quick before we continue this talk, your new co-host for Viva Los Broncos, Adon Diaz, a 6'10" Mexican, pops in saying, "Saludos, Broncos Country." What a great win and a new start to another winning streak. Adon, we love you, brother, and we're so excited to have your new co-host on here with us tonight, getting his exposure to the Orange and Blue Network and to the MHRT Network. So pumped about it. D-Rock also popped in. He said I did my part. So he left the stream for a minute, went over and voted and gave Bo some votes. Perfect. So if you're watching this, you haven't already, man, again, jump in the link below. Let's go. Go. I literally put it as Bo Nix Rookie Player of the Week voting. Click on the link and go give Bo some votes. Let's do this, guys. We have the power. So, but continuing on with what we were talking about there, I love what you said there, E, about the Denver defense, okay? Because the Browns defense is not as good as the Denver defense. And yet we saw them employing, play style and play calling and schemes that were shutting down the Ravens offense in a lot of ways. And almost every one of those things are things that we, the number 3 defense in the NFL, top 3 defense in the NFL, excel at. So I don't know about you guys. I feel like the Broncos defense is going to be the toughest defense the Ravens have faced so far this season. So does that, so what do you think? Like about I'm going to start with E on this one. What do you think about this defense's chances against one of the best offenses, obviously, in the NFL?
Like how I was explaining earlier, this D is so unique and so well coached as well, which is awesome. This just gives us the no-fly zone back in 2015 vibes itself. So when you look at that and the way that this defense is playing now, it's almost like I feel like this defense this year is probably going to be better than that 2015 defense itself. And that was an awesome defense. And that's hard to say. Right now, boy. But I'm calling it right now. Midway through the season, I'm calling it.
E with a hot take. Here it is. Hot take.
Hot take there.
I like that. I like that a lot. I keep hearing, no fly zone 2.0, and I want them. I like it because it definitely calls us back to in our hearts to the good memories. But at the same time, I want them to get their own name.
I agree.
What I mean? Like air traffic control or something like that. Like something crazy. But I don't know, Jay. What do you think about this defense's chances against one of the best offenses in the NFL?
Well, just for note, the 2025 defense was, I think, way more talented because they could play man and do what they did.
In 2015?
2015. Our scheme right now is just crazy good. Like Vance Joseph is calling just a nuts defense. That's putting our secondary in really good positions. I don't think there's any any offense that we should be scared about because we've seen our defense be really adaptable to different kinds of offenses that we've matched up with. And it starts and ends with, PS2 being a unicorn and being able to just blanket a side of a field and to basically just eliminate 30% of the opponent's playbook because that's where most of the target shares go into their best wide receiver, best playmaker. We've seen it on Brock Bowers of tight end where he got a little steam and then we switched and then he was done. We didn't hear his name again. So it doesn't matter the position. It's just automatically your top 30 plays offense that you do really well. We're going to take it out of your hands because of PS2. And it's not any different for Baltimore, just in a different way.
I love it, bud. You said you mentioned PS2 being a unicorn. You know that meme that gets sent out to Broncos country every year by people, by other fan bases, of that really effeminate guy in like a leotard saying like this, like, Winnie,
Yeah.
Winnie, I'm a Bronco or whatever.
I see that.
He's got the little unicorn horn and everything. And I'm like, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's cute. Yeah, you guys are funny. I've seen it for years. It's old at this point. Dude, I feel like I could sit there and use my, do what I do. You know what I do. And do like a Photoshop of PS2's face on that. And it actually would make sense. It wouldn't be an insult. It's like, dude, hey, look, I'm a unicorn, because he is, man. He is such a unique player. Future. I mean, he's not, I wouldn't say he's already a legend, but he is a future legend. I mean, the only guy I've we haven't said it in a few weeks now, Jay, but I feel like it merits saying, the only guy that I can think of, not just on the Broncos, but the NFL, that even compares cornerback wise, is Champ Bailey. And we're seeing like almost like a reincarnation of Champ right now with PS2 on the field.
It's the technical sound. The famous stories of Champ Bailey never like stretching. Like teammates would say they've never seen him stretch in their whole lives. Just one of those guys that can just literally walk out onto the field and he's the best player no matter what because of his technique. And PS2 takes his game so serious. You could tell, his dad's a legend. So like he's technically just perfect.
He really is. And E, do you have any thoughts on PS2?
He's the best that we've had since Champ Bailey. And I go back as well when we had CSJ, when he was here as well. But I feel like PS2 has already surpassed him in the couple of years that he's already been here. And just that lockdown corner himself. And he prides himself on that. And you see that day in and day out at practice. When I was there during training camp, you see his work ethic out there on the practice field. And then you see it out on the field. And you hear his teammates talk about how much he works on his craft.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And, I think we are honestly we are lucky to have him. We're blessed to have him. Blessed. # blessed. But we're blessed to have him on this team.
Certainly better than Justin Fields.
Yeah. Oh boy, man. I mean, do you remember that? Jay, we could have had Justin Fields, man.
Revisionist history.
Well, we could have had Justin Fields, though. I mean, what a bust, right? No.
There's so many people that believe that so wholeheartedly, though, at the time.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and I just don't understand how they can think that. It's wrong.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Ooh, so D-Rock. D-Rock's got some potential names for this defense. The Misery of Havoc.
Ministry of Havoc.
Yeah, Ministry of the Crush Zone. I like that a lot.
The Co-Conspirators.
Interesting.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
I like
the Crush Zone is cool, though.
Yeah, the Crush
Zone is cool.
Top vote right there.
So, all right, pivoting a little bit here. I want to talk about kind of D-Rock, another one. Honorable mention, Archipelago. I mean, it's cool. I don't know if I see. I want them to be called another one, the Bermuda Triangle.
I have seen that floating around.
I like that one, and I'm like, dude, that's wicked. Everything disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's cool, man. So, I want to bring up another thing that happened at the end of the game, and it came out yesterday on social media, a video of Mr. J.C. Horn walking onto the field and bitching at Sean Payton for running up the score. I mean, did you see that video, guys?
Yeah, I did see it. I was at the game, and I wasn't able to you don't realize what's happening on the field, the context, because there's just so much going on. But coming home and watching highlights and then seeing that itself, I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? You're a professional athlete. You get paid to do this. And just how Sean Payton said, do better. You got to do better.
I mean, I don't know how else you can look at it. It was, I mean, honestly, There's nothing else that you can say about JC Horn about that one. And if he watches this, I hope he watches this.
Yeah,
There's nothing else you can say about JC Horn other than you just made a jackass out of yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Between him saying that and Anthony Richardson asking for a playoff, what a bunch of pussy willows this week.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Like, such softness out of players these days.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Anthony Richardson being weak like that, okay, whatever. But I mean, are you with JC Horn though, are you seriously going to walk on the field and get in a coach's face about running up the score? Like, what are we supposed to do? Sit back and just let you and give you a chance? Like, I'm sorry, I'm a father of 3, and none of my children are over the age of 10. And when I play like board games with my kids, they'll be like, or video games like Mario Kart or whatever, they'll be like, "Daddy, will you let me win this one?" And I'm like, absolutely not. I am not taking it easy in any way. My son and I, my oldest, my son Jackson, whose voice you heard at the beginning of the show at the end of the intro video, saying Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. He and I were playing Battleship yesterday, and he kept being like, "Daddy, be a little nicer." And I'm like, no, I'm I'm not going to take it easy on you because you learn nothing.
Exactly.
When I take it easy on you, you'll learn. By the time you're old enough and you're a man and you're taking on other people in these games, you're going to destroy them because I taught you how to destroy them.
And to that point,
so
Johnny, our offense. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the same way with me. I have 2 boys myself, so one's 20 and one's 16. So I never took it easy on them. It was like always going out there playing hard. And it was just like me and my oldest son, we'd also play Madden all the time. And I would actually clown with him, let him think that he was doing good. And then I would just destroy him. Now he's just super good. I can't even compare to what he's doing now. But I go, see, part of that is I made you get better. I didn't let you win. And look at where you're at now. Like you're a really good Madden player now. So yeah, it's something that you have to be in there and beat it on them and
absolutely
until they get it.
And just like me, Jay is a father of 3 boys as well.
Yeah. I was going to say it has to do though with the time period of life that you're in. Yeah. Like when you have small kids, that's when you imprint that. We have a rookie quarterback. We have a baby for an offense. That these snaps are invaluable for experience to just get more experience on the tread of these tires here. It'd be different if we had a well-oiled machine offense like Kansas City, for instance, that had the same playbook quarterback ever. So it's a lot different for us.
Are you seriously though coming out and getting mad because we didn't give you a chance? Like, are we supposed to? Is that how the game is supposed to be played now? Is that we give you the chance to beat us or catch up to us? Come on, man.
That's not the game at all. And then I go back to when we got our asses whooped against Miami. You know, when they put up 70 points on us, I didn't see any of the players crying or complaining about that.
No.
Like, all right.
I didn't see one of our boys walk out to Mike McDaniel like, man, Mike McDaniel, why you do this? Like, no. So, I mean, what a baby. What a giant baby. And it's despicable, man. Like, you're not only are you a grown ass man, but you are a professional football player who's getting paid millions of dollars. I mean, the guy, JC Horn's what does he make a season right now? Like $15 million? Like, come on, man. I make like a 1/100th of that in a year. Okay. Like, get over yourself. You're not like, oh my God. It just makes me sick when you see guys act like that. And it's like, you're supposed to be the pinnacle. You're supposed to be the one who has made it to the top. And right. you're going to act like a whiny baby and complain because your team sucks and you couldn't get it done. So you're going to come target the coach of the other team because he got it done. Come on, man.
Well, and what's even like more dumb about this whole situation is, from what it sounded like to me, the thing he had an issue with was the fake field goal, which I can't imagine he was even on the field for. So what the heck does he care? Like,
No, you know what? I wanted to bring that up. I actually think that's a great segue there, Jay. So, JC Horn, you're a jackass. Anyway, segue. That's a perfect segue, though, into the fake field goal because I wanted to talk about that on this one. You know, like a lot of people did ask me on like social media this week, like, why do you think Sean went for that? Because we didn't need it. We didn't. He's JC Horn. If that's what he's bitching about, but he's right. We didn't need that.
Yeah.
But the reason. But here's the thing. We said it in the pregame show this week, right, Jay? If, you know, this kind of a game is the type of game where you want us to be trying the new things that we haven't tried yet this season because
season game.
Yes, because if you're doing it against a team that you're beating like this, if it goes wrong, it's not going to be as detrimental to you as if you tried to go do that against Kansas City or Baltimore or, you know, or in a division game. You know, this gives them a chance to. This gave them a chance to try some things that they might otherwise not have done, and kind of get their toes wet, so to speak. Do you mirror that, or do you think that there was another motive, or what was his reasoning behind the fake field goal on what was it, fourth and 5?
Yeah, what do you think?
You know, honestly, like how you were just mentioning it's this game time situational things that. Normally when you're in practice, no one's going 100%. So when you're able to do this in an actual game situation, yes, we're up, we're winning. Let's just throw it in there. And what if it helps us now in 2 weeks when we're in KC in that loud environment there, that's going to be the play that's going to win us the game. So I love what he did about it. You know, that's sorry, not sorry. Like, this is
not sorry at all.
We're in here. We're trying to win games. We're trying to get stuff ready for when, if we do have to use it in the future, we know that if we're able to do it or what adjustments we may have to do to make it work for us.
Yes.
It's also should be mentioned that Sean Payton and Carolina have long, thick history being in division opponents. And so, you know, I know the persona that is Sean Payton that, you know, around the NFL, he's kind of an arrogant bastard. So I kind of understand why an in-division team like that would get a little sour at a fake field goal up 4 touchdowns. I get it.
I get it. I think like literally like, does it almost shock you that a player maybe not like if the other coach, if it was Kevin, who was the coach? Not Kevin. What's his name?
No, I don't. Gosh, I can't. He was the Seattle coach last year.
Yeah, whatever his name is. It's not even important enough to remember right now. You know, if he'd walked out there, and we could hear a soundbite of him being like, "What the hell, Sean? Really? Like, why? You know, we were on the ground. Did you have to put your boot heel on our neck? Like, yeah. I that would make more sense. But a player having not and one who has not really he was a high draft pick, but he has proven nothing in the NFL. Really,
he hasn't done anything.
He has not done anything. He has no championships, no playoff wins. He is not an established, like, you know, he's not an established star. To have the balls to walk out against, you know, to walk up to a legendary, you know, Hall of Fame coach, future Hall of Fame coach, and speak to him like that, like, dude, you got to check yourself, man.
No, it was bad. It was a bad look all around. It really was.
And Sean Payton, I mean, I liked his response. You don't want me to run the score up? Play better.
Yep.
I mean, he said it. He said it perfectly. Play better. And you know, D-Rock even said it here. Cam Newton voice. If you don't want us to run up the score, then don't let us score.
Yep.
Yeah.
Granted, that very same season that Cam Newton said that, the Denver Broncos went out there and stomped them in the Super Bowl. So that was, you know, that's a good memory. But thanks, guys, for talking with me about that one. You know, I liked it. I thought it was newsworthy, something worth talking about.
I think it's interesting that Deontay Johnson is coming to the same team twice. Like, he ducked us, and I said it in the group chat of like, dude, I have him on fantasy. He's perfectly fine. There's no reason he shouldn't be playing against us. He's ducking our boy PS2.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I understand the injury implications, but now he gets the real shot, I think, because he's going to play. So PS2 is going to wipe him over.
I mean, like he's going to play, but I mean, he's not going to know their playbook.
True. He's
true.
He's a target machine, man. He's a ISO. Just let him be man on man.
Yep.
He'll get the ball.
He's going to get beaten by the Broncos twice in one season. In fact, in back-to-back games,
Back-to-back weeks. That's what I was just going to say.
Let's just will it into existence, guys. So I thought the Carolina game went very well. Obviously, we talked about it. Bo Nix had a stellar performance. And of course, a lot of the media and whatnot are gonna plug that as well. But Carolina sucks, so it makes sense that he played as good as he did. But I don't think so. I think what you brought up early in the show, about like now we're seeing Sean Payton's opening the playbook more, and Bo is showing his comfort, so to speak, with that. I think it's perfect. I think it's going to be. We're starting to see what this team is going to consistently be. But am I alone in that?
No, I don't think you are. One thing I do have to say, though, that in order for him to be even more successful, for this to be that, first, Cortland Sutton has to step up and be that number one receiver for the team this year, at least. That's what I'm saying. But again, he has his boy Troy Franklin as well that he's trying to get out to him. But Franklin is not to the point where he was last year when they were in Oregon. So I think we just need that help. What's been wonderful is definitely our tight ends. It's helped him out.
This week especially.
Yeah, especially since it was tight ends week. This on Sunday it was the tight ends day. Overall in the whole NFL, it seemed like the tight ends overall did an awesome job. But I feel like this week itself, Adam Troutman has to be that top tight end for us, and maybe have multiple touchdown game for us.
Absolutely, Jay.
No, I was just going to say, I kind of feel like in Bo Nix, the current version of the offense that we have, the first week of the year was the New Orleans game, because that's when we significantly saw the advanced playbook come out finally, and the training wheels come off of Bo Nix. And I'd say we got maybe like a B grade performance out of that New Orleans game. Yeah. Not like the most polished, not that great, but they took the same philosophy in the Carolina game and he aced it. And he looked complete and clean and efficient in that advanced playbook.
So New Orleans was study hall.
Yeah.
And Carolina was that.
All right,
that was
let's do it now.
That was the
like this is for real.
Yep.
You can tell a big difference because the tight end was still still involved. Where again, New Orleans was the first week that I can remember our tight ends even being uttered in a target share, let alone actual production.
Yeah.
So Baltimore game is going to be massive because their secondary sucks.
Yes.
Like it is not the Baltimore defense that we're used to seeing.
No,
they
it's
can
not.
stop the run really well, but we haven't been consistent in running the ball. And that's not our strength, I wouldn't say, to this offense. So I think it's going to be a Bo show again, even in Baltimore.
It has to be. It has to be. That's how we win.
Yep.
Ray has popping in here saying, "Good evening, fellas. What's up, Ray?"
Ray? Welcome.
I always love Ray's profile pic there of that classic Orange Crush sign that he has in his house. Really cool stuff. Love it, Ray. Always do. Glad you're here. So I want to bring up oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Guys, do either of you have anything you want to talk about in particular? Excuse me.
I guess my just housekeeping item for myself to get cleaned up here in the podcast is just throw a vote out for Bo for Rookie of the Week, but also throw out a vote for your boy from CU for Heisman as well, because that voting is currently out, and you can vote on ESPN, and that counts for a vote in Heisman. So Travis Hunter, number 12, He-Man, go vote for him, please. So
Absolutely.
get the votes out. And it's vote week, so there's just a lot of voting going on right now.
It's like American Idol of football right
A
now.
lot of votes.
Get those votes out. Make them count.
Yep.
Absolutely. And like, guys, what Jay was just saying, for Bo at least, the link to vote for Bo Nix for Rookie Player of the Week is in the bio beneath. So please, if you haven't, go click that link and give Bo the love he deserves and help Bo get the honors he deserves. Because that'll be like, I'm not saying that we are expecting Bo Nix to get Rookie Player of the Year, but if in any way, if things continue to go right for Bo and his name is in the talks for Rookie Player of the Year, having 1 or 2 Rookie Player of the Weeks under his belt during the season is going to go a long way in him getting, achieving that. So
Absolutely.
let's help him out. And you talk about our CU buffs, Jay.
Just a quick.
Oh no, I love it. I love it. But
small potato.
We talk about all Denver sports except for the Rockies here because none of us like the Rockies.
Who are they?
So how about our Nuggets with their very first win of the season last night over the Raptors? Wasn't the prettiest, but it is a dub. We find at least we're not starting the season 0-3. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah, it's definitely different. So just a quick, 5,000 foot view here. I'm so much more happy that the Broncos are producing than some of the other teams are maybe struggling. Just as an overall Colorado fan here. The Broncos are everything, man, and we haven't had it for so long that it's just such a weird feeling to have hope. I don't know. I started this when Russell Wilson and Mr. Hackett came in here. So I started this podcasting thing at a horrible time. So I've only really known misery while talking exclusively on these airwaves. So it's exciting. Awesome. It's good stuff right now.
It's a good feeling.
Absolutely.
And truth be told, we started the Nothing Rhymes Orange and Blue podcast 4 years ago. And so even during the early times of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, it hasn't been happy times in Broncos country. No. So, I mean, here we are. We're still here, and we ain't going anywhere. I'm going to die in this chair doing this. I promise. As an old man with a gray beard, that's going to be me. and that's not in any way a slight at our dear friend Keith Brugman of Denver Broncos Roundup.
Bronco Bill.
or Bronco Bill. Of Broncos Breakdown. But guys, I'm really pumped about what we've been seeing. I'm really excited about this Ravens game. I was dreading it 3 weeks ago. I am actually excited about this Ravens game. And I think it's going to go well. D-Rock chimes in with go Lakers, go Lakers. Bleh.
Yeah.
Bruh. No, get out of here with that. But, I mean, I'm really confident in what we've got going on. Our defense as a whole, man, I mean, outside of PS2, I mean, Riley Moss and our safeties, I was worried with Jay Sims' departure, and I'm not worried anymore. Our safety's getting it done, man.
Yeah. So that's that was a big thing as well when we just let him go. That was a big talk here in town itself. But being able to still to see him there in Atlanta, him still doing well. But I know that with VJ here and with Sean Payton, they knew what we had. They knew what was going on with what we have right now currently. And even though with him being such a big voice on that defensive side, they already knew, you know what, we have his replacement. We're going to be there. We're going to be just fine without having that big coach on the field as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was a friend of this show. I mean, he was on this show.
Oh, nice.
And he and I spent 2 or 3 hours hanging out at Mario Vitanzi.
Oh, yeah, I know Mario.
And he's a great guy. A good friend of this show, and we do miss him. And I hate seeing him wearing colors other than orange and blue.
Yep.
But I am very happy with the production of the guys that have come in, to fill the void left by him.
Oh yeah.
And of course, one thing we haven't brought up, we're talking defense. Our run defense versus Derrick Henry. Let's talk.
Well, see, that's what I was just going to bring up. If we had a passing of the torch as far as the culture and the talking piece for the defense when Jason's left, we saw similar things when Alex Singleton went out, and we have not yet had a game where we circle and say, "Oh, we really missed Alex Singleton." And I have a fear that this might be that game because this is the game that Alex Singleton would shine in. Justin Sternad is not that thumper. Although he's been great, he ain't that guy that's like going to go put himself in front of Derrick Henry.
Cody Barton is great in coverage, and he's got great sideline to sideline speed.
Yeah.
But again, Derrick Henry he's 30 years old, 249 pounds. And can run at over 20 miles an hour. He's a mammoth.
He's great.
But I think of him like that. He's a Mack truck going out there. You don't want to go in front of a Mack truck and try to tackle him, but they just need to step up, especially that D line. The D line is going to be that key factor of closing out those gaps, filling those gaps in, so that there's no holes for him to run through.
Which I will point out, we excel at this season, and we're in the top 3 for run defense in the NFL. Like I said it earlier, the Ravens offense, which is inarguably one of the best offenses in the NFL, they have not yet faced a defense like us. And so I'm very interested to see how well this run defense does at stopping Derrick Henry. He's one of those players. There's been other ones we faced this season where I've said, this is a guy that you can't shut down. You can't shut him down. There are several of them in the NFL at different positions. No matter what you do, he's going to get production.
Well, the way to shut him down is that you get a lead. Because once you have a lead, Derrick Henry's not even on the field. They have shown Justin Hill, can't remember his first name, but the backup has had a significant play in games that Baltimore is down.
Sure.
They're totally different offense when they are on lead and they can have that crushing running attack that they have.
Absolutely.
But that's how you beat this team. Just get a lead. Any lead.
But what I'm saying is, like, you can't stop production from Derrick Henry. He's going to produce because he is who he is. But you can hamper him. You can cut down those chunk yard runs and those enormous 30-40 yard dashes that he gets. If we can keep him from achieving those, dude, we take away a major part of what makes the Ravens offense as strong as they are this season.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's see. D-Rock says Ben Powers has to go lights out. I hope so, man. Between the center, do we have Luke Wattenberg back now? We do, don't we?
No, not yet.
Yeah, dang it. I was really hoping for it. But, I
don't think he'll even come back, dude. Like, why would you mess with our offense thus far? I think Forsythe's playing perfectly fine. I see no reason.
I just wish he would open the A gap between between him and the guards a little bit better.
Yeah,
for running back.
But he's the line's playing very well, and I wouldn't say Forsythe's playing badly. So we'll see. They were a toss-up in the offseason. It's who's available.
What do you think, E?
And I'm an offensive lineman myself, so that's who I really watch. And being able to see Ben Powers, like, he's been pretty good. Forsythe right now, he's been serviceable for us right now with Wattenberg out. But again, you have Quinn Miners. Like, he's my boy, and he's one of the best guards out there right now. So, and from where we at, from just even from last year and 2 years ago, I feel that this offensive line is better coached than they were the last couple of years, and you can see that automatically. And just seeing the time that Bo has to be able to pass it, or even having some of these gaps open up. That wasn't happening over the last couple of years, which was frustrating a lot as well.
I love it, man. I love it. And and see, I didn't play offensive line. I was a halfback.
Okay.
I was the third down running back that, when you needed to pick up 2 yards in a game of Red Rover against the defensive line, you put me in the game. Because I wasn't good at finding the gaps. I was just going to charge through and keep the legs churning and go through. So I mean, I'm not as good as you are at watching the offensive line. However, I do like what I've seen out of this offensive line. I just was really, when we saw our running game take off, against the Saints again, and before that, even though we lost against the Chargers, when we saw our running game really get productive, when Javonte Williams was running his backside off, we were seeing him make amazing runs through the A gap, between the center and the guard. That was where he was making his biggest, except for a couple that went outside, right there through the A, and he was making. And so right now, I'm seeing Alex Forsyth struggling to open that gap, and that's really the biggest weakness for me on the offensive line right now is the inability to open the A gap for the running backs. So I know that we knew that Alex Forsyth was not as good as Luke Wattenberg in run blocking. We knew that, but I really need him to step up and be that.
You know what? And then what's going to happen? This is going to be the game that he does this. Just manifesting that right now. Let's manifest that. This is going to be the game that we see that.
Let's hope so. Let's will it. Another one. Let's will it into existence, boys.
There we go.
Let's do it.
We're playing a defense though that the secondary is just so bad that and they actually do protect the run not too badly on the defensive side. So I don't want to see a close game. I'd rather see us air the ball out a lot more. I want to see Bo Nix show his true first big road test, with this advanced playbook. I think it'll be a Bo Nix show, no matter what. So it's just protecting Bo.
Yeah.
I think that's the key to this
I
game.
thought you said go, Bo, go.
You can do it!
So, all right, guys. Well, you know what? I think it's time for us to have a little bit of fun. I mean, not that it hasn't been fun, but it is time for us to do one of our favorite segments on this show. This is The Phrase is Incomplete. Welcome, guys, to The Phrase is Incomplete. It's very simple, guys. We have a lot of fun doing this. Each of us makes a statement. We leave a blank in that statement, so making the phrase incomplete. And then everybody punches in whatever they want to answer or to fulfill and complete the phrase. It is just so ridiculously simple, but it is so much fun. You can do absolutely anything with this segment. So, E, you are our rookie tonight. So please, you get your first start on the phrase is incomplete. Please present us with an incomplete phrase.
Zach Allen will have blank tackles
Against the Ravens. Ooh.
Can I
Okay.
take this first?
Go, Jay.
So I think Zach Allen, obviously he continues to probably be our best defensive lineman.
Yep.
One could argue our MVP of the defensive side of the ball this year. He's playing out of his mind. I think
Definitely all pro.
Against this running attack that Baltimore wants to run the ball, they're going to try and establish the run, time of possession, that kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see at least 8 tackles out of him today. Or on Sunday. At least one of those being a sack. The dude's nuts. It's a big game for Zach Allen, I think.
Okay. I like it. It's E's phrase, so I'm going to go ahead and complete it next. I'm going big. Jay, you've always been on our show, on all of our shows, you've always been the over guy. You've always gone, way over me. Guess what?
True.
We're going to mix it up today. I'm going over you.
What?
Yeah.
So
That's
high.
happening.
You're so
Zach-
high.
Zach Allen. That's right. Yep. I just ate that mushroom. And maybe that's why I'm about to make this prediction. But Zach Allen will have 10 tackles
Wow.
in this game, 4 of them for loss, 1 of them a sack.
It'll be high volume. I mean,
Yeah.
he's set up for a high volume game. You're not. I mean, you might not have overshot that, Johnny.
I'm just saying, I
What
went
do
over
you
you.
think?
You
That's
always go
true.
over me, so I went over you this time.
It's very true. E, what do you think?
I'm right there with Johnny. I think he's going to have at least 11 tackles, and I said at least 4 for loss as well, and 1 sack.
Oh, there you go. And it's worth pointing out that the tackle leader this last week was Brandon Jones with 12,
Yep.
with 4 solo tackles. So I mean, Zach Allen, about to outdo the safety, possibly outdo or just do just as good as the safety in this one. Let's again willing it into existence, boys. Yes.
Nice.
All right. So I had us down to each do 2 of these tonight. 2 each. But if we start to run long, we can cut it down to 1 each. It's up to you guys. If you want to keep going after we've each given one, we'll kind of take a quick on-air vote, and then we'll go from there. Jay, please present us with your incomplete phrase. And if you're in the comments, guys, please plug in your answers that complete the phrase as well. We'd love to see what you think about these. So, Jay, what is your first incomplete phrase for tonight?
Blank will lead the team in targets this week against the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Wow.
Where's this offense going to go? We've
Ed,
seen
you want to go first, or should I?
a lot.
I'll go.
All right.
I think Vele will have the most targets.
Oh, that's who I said. That's who I said
good.
last week.
Yeah. He's primed for a big game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, though? I'm going a different route. I'm sticking with the wide receiver position. The last week we were all very high on the top targets being Devon Vele and Troy Franklin. However, I'm going outside of that. Lil Jordan Humphrey will be the number 1 target against Baltimore this week.
The fumble.
After the fumble, I'm looking at this with Lil Jordan Humphrey and watching his career. When he's made a mistake, like he did, he had the fumble, and man, it killed us. Every time he's done that in his next game, just like the Ravens are going to be out for blood after losing to the Browns, he's out for blood. He's just that guy. He does that whenever he has a bad game or makes a big mistake. When he comes back, he shows out. So I'm saying that Lil Jordan Humphrey will be the number 1 target.
Hey.
With at least, I'm going to say, this is just spitballing, but I'm going to say with at least 7 receptions.
Sean Payton loves his guys. And so for him to double down on a guy that may be down in a trend right now because of that fumble wouldn't necessarily surprise me. He loves his guys. He's loyal.
Yes, he is. Jay, go ahead and complete your own phrase, bro.
Well, we saw the Cortland Sutton game last game. First game really in the season where Cortland Sutton was the highlight. We force-fed him the ball as much as we could. I thought that was the most, graduated playbook that we have seen year to date. Again, as I said, in the trajectory of New Orleans being the first game of that wave. So I don't see any reason to deviate from our 1A wide receiver. I think Cortland Sutton is here on out going to be the substantial leader in targets. And I think Cortland Sutton is going to get his fair share of slants and short ball opportunities where we haven't necessarily seen. We've been harping on this 50-50 ball, and that's great and all, but that is a slim skill set of usage, and I want to see more usage out of Sutton with the whole route tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and I can get on board with that. I like it. Of course, if Baltimore does play a lot of zone defensively, and we have established it, when you play in zone, when teams play us in zone, Cortland Sutton struggles.
True, but again, I want to see the diversified route tree for him.
Yeah.
I don't want to see just the quick post or the quick, jump ball. We don't have to do jump balls, and that's what you're saying in zone. That makes total sense. But underneath slants, give him some yak.
Quick crossing routes. Maybe a dig route here and there.
Yep, that's what I want to see.
All right, I'm down with it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Do you guys want to each do one more, or do you want to call it for the night? I vote go one more, but that's my vote.
I'm good either way.
I can do another one in the tank here.
All right. Well, word up. E, we're back to you, buddy. Give us another incomplete phrase. I feel like all of our incomplete phrases so far have been, well, 2 of them have been offensive. One's been defensive. You gave us a defensive. So what's your next one?
I'm going to go with offense. Bo Nix will have blank passing yards.
Okay. I'll go first on this one. This week, Bo Nix recorded 273 passing yards. He has yet to eclipse 300. As you pointed out, Jay, their run defense is better than their secondary, and their secondary is garbage.
Bad.
So, assuming, of course, that we continue to roll play action, at least trying to set up play action, and we're able to execute some good passes out of that, I'm going to predict that Bo eclipses 300 yards for the first time in his NFL career this week. Not by much, though. Bo Nix will pass for 304 yards this week. So there it is. Oh, real quick, before anybody else goes, D-Rock, who has been our most engaged watcher tonight, he has given us he's completed the phrase for the last 2, and I've missed it until just now, and I want to give him his love. He says Zach Allen for 2 sacks and a strip sack fumble.
Don't strip
I
it.
love that.
I like it. He also says Cortland Sutton will be the number 1 target. He agrees with you, Jay. 8 targets, 87 yards, and 1 tutty. I love it. And then, of course, he also answers this E's most recent with Nix 198 passing yards, 46 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Cool. I love it. All right, Jay, go ahead. And I said 304 for Bo Nix passing.
So just to piggyback off of what D-Rock said, I'd like to see another game where Bo Nix has single-digit or very low rushing yards. And the reason I want that is because I want him to be confident in his pocket, and I want him to find his 3rd option, 4th option, instead of just, getting out of dodge. And because of that, I think we're going to see, like you said, the highlight for Bo Nix in a passing yard scenario because of their weak secondary, but I'm going 350.
350?
350.
Damn, son, you're getting way up there, man. Like that, you're starting to get Madden numbers.
But think of this: if we had a competitive game, if the game was competitive last week, Bo Nix would have easily hit 300, like easily.
All right.
So, we're gonna have a competitive game for all 4 quarters this game.
Challenge accepted.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, E, please complete yours, my friend.
So, just going along with talking about the offensive line, I feel that these guys will be able to give him enough time in the pocket where he's going to be able to get that 2nd, 3rd, and possibly 4th read. So I'm going to be going out with 333.
333. So I was actually the most what is it? Conservative on this.
You were so low. You were so high. Now you're so low, Johnny.
so low.
Damn it, Johnny!
Wow, you finally found the point in the show to use "Damn it, Johnny." Just because of that, we got do it again.
Damn it, Johnny!
Okay.
I haven't forced it. That's what she said, though. All right, so
You have not forced it. That's
don't
what
go
she.
away.
Oh, I've got you. I've got you. All right, Jay. Do you want to give your second the incomplete phrase?
Yes. At the recent road trip of at Baltimore and at Kansas City, the Broncos will end up with blank wins.
Just in that 2-game stretch.
Just a 2-game road stretch here before we get back home. 2-game road trip.
Oh man, throwing us on the spot, Jay. All right. E, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go.
All right.
I feel like we will end up probably going 1-1. And each game could be either way. It could be flip-flop, whatever one we hit, win or lose. But I feel like after this road trip, we'll end up 1-1.
Okay. All right. Richie Rich, our dear friend up in Canada, the host of the Wild Wild West podcast over on our partner MHRT Network, says 1 win. D-Rock says we get the W in KC.
Nice.
All right. So what do you, real quick, E, what do you think? Do we get the win in Baltimore or do we get the win in Kansas City? Because you said 1-1.
You know what? Like, I'll go. Yeah, I think KC. I think we will definitely beat the KC. And I'm going to say that we're going to be giving KC their first loss of the season.
I love it. I'm literally on the same page as you. Usually I try to mix it up so it's a little, so we have some different perspectives, different things to look at, but I'm with you. I think we go 1-1. And I'm going to say we also get our dub. I think we can win against Baltimore, but I think if we go 1-1, we get that one way or the other, we go 1-1. And I think we give KC their first loss of the season. So there it is. Jay.
I declare
Two wins for us, boys. It is going to be the welcome to the NFL Broncos, and we are going to look like the darlings of this race here for a playoff seed. And I say this because defense travels, and our defense being top 5, top 3, most pressures, most sacks flirting with, in those categories and discussions, that is the perfect recipe for going into someone else's house and creating havoc. And with the trajectory of our offense hitting its stride right before this, oh, buddy, you heard it here first. Baltimore and Kansas City are going down. Eat my shorts.
Oh, I love it.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
No, Richie Rich says, Jay, drugs are bad. D-Rock says, 2 wins, let's effing go, Mile High Dream. That's you, Jay. You are the Denver Dream, buddy. We love you. Rich says he thinks we get our dub in Baltimore. I think here's the thing. Before I give mine, I think it could go either way. I think we get 1 win on this road trip, and it could come in either Kansas City or in Baltimore. It'll just be it'd be kind of one of those any given Sunday where the cards fall where they do kind of moments, kind of situations. I think we can beat both. I think, like you said, I do agree with you 100%, Jay. Defense travels. And therefore, because our defense is so good, the Chiefs haven't faced a defense like ours yet this season, and neither have the Ravens. So both of them are going to struggle against this defense.
Yep.
And it could be close in both games. So it could go either way. I'm sticking with 1-1, and maybe it's just me trying to be hopeful because I'd much rather beat Kansas City than beat Baltimore. Because it's a division win and because I friggin' hate the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm still going to stick with mine. 1-1, Kansas City. We beat Kansas City on this road trip. All right, the final one. I'm gonna have fun with this because I know Jay hates it.
This is Will Lutz incomplete. Better not be a Will Lutz.
It is not Will Lutz. It is not Will Lutz. Not Will Lutz at all.
That'd be real bad for you, Johnny.
Yeah, no. Hey, don't you be talking smack about Will Lutz. I'll start in on Damari Mathis. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it, Jay. I'm sure I don't know if you're aware, but Jay has like this insane love affair in his head and his heart for Damari Mathis. So
he could be a Hall of Famer if given the opportunity.
Sure. I recall when PS2 went down, Jay predicted 4 interceptions for Damari Mathis in that next game,
and he's not taking his job away.
You predicted. Yeah, that's right. You did. You predicted Damari Mathis would take PS2's job.
That was in a private chat.
But no. All right. Final incomplete of the day. With 2 of the best running quarterbacks in the league in the same game.
True.
The quarterback with the highest rushing yards this game will be blank.
Wow. If our offense works the way that it should work this week for us, it's going to be Lamar that's going to have 15 more yards more than Bo.
Okay. All right. I respect it. I definitely respect it. But I did think it was important to call out the fact that 2 of the best running quarterbacks in this league will be in the same game.
Oh yeah.
No, it's true.
The best and probably the second best.
Yeah. I would say Bo is probably a top 5 rushing quarterback right now.
Yep.
In a trend sense. So I would say for sure it's going to be Lamar Jackson. And for a reason why is just because I think Bo Nix will be we'll get a lead early. And I think we won't have to play hero ball. I think he'll revert more to how he was with Carolina, with actually staying with our pocket. And if Baltimore's going to play down, Lamar's going to get more risky, and he's going to rush it a lot more, scramble out of the pocket. And our defense has not faced a quarterback like him thus far this year. So I've always been I'm kind of scared about a running quarterback like him. So I could see Lamar having a big day on the ground, but not necessarily translating to team success.
Fair enough. I want to ask you, and Rich brings up a great point here. Baltimore isn't built to spy, and it literally plays into the question I was about to ask you. Knowing what we know about Lamar Jackson, do we employ heavily the spy on Lamar this game?
Oh, yeah.
And who is it, in your opinion? Before I answer.
And that's what Richie comes out and says, is that I think we play Lamar to just prevent him from running. And I think that is kind of the blueprint to defend this offense right at it. It's just load the box up. It doesn't matter if it's Derrick Henry or Lamar. Just prevent the run, because they cannot run.
But if we are employing a QB spy, who do you think it is?
Strnad.
Justin Strnad.
Yep.
Okay, I like it. Now, you both said Lamar. I'm going to go the other way. But I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go the other way because I think it's Bo. I think Bo has more rushing yards than Lamar. Maybe not many more. And Rich actually agrees with me there. Bo has more yards. He says Bo has more yards. And it may not be many more than Lamar, but here's what I think. I think Baltimore is very cocky when it comes to running quarterbacks because they practice against Lamar Jackson. But I also think that they are not used to really playing against other quarterbacks that can run like Lamar does. And honestly, you said it, Jay. Bo's probably top 5 in the NFL right now as a rushing quarterback. But one thing that Bo does just as good as Lamar that other rushing quarterbacks don't is how slippery he is. Like you get moments where guys have hands on him and you're like, oh great, it's over. Oh shit, he's back up, he's moving. Nobody does that like Lamar and Bo. And I think Baltimore is going to get surprised once or twice, like one or two plays where they're going to suddenly be shocked when Bo escapes and puts out a massive chunk run. Because we've seen him do it, and I think he can, and I think it'll happen again because the Ravens, I almost said the Saints, the Ravens won't be necessarily as prepared for it. So I'm going to go with Bo. Maybe just a few yards more than Lamar, but I think Bo actually shocks the NFL this week by outrushing Lamar Jackson in the rushing quarterback face-off. So that was fun.
I can see
Any
that.
thoughts?
No, I think these are all, very possible outcomes. I think there are some deviations we've seen throughout the season, at least from an offensive play call standpoint, that we don't know exactly what to expect because we haven't had consistency quite yet. So we don't know how Bo's going to play, but that's the whole point of this game. This is our first, all right, let's be consistent with your successes now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this game's going to be so interesting, I feel like.
I absolutely agree with you. All right, guys, that does it for The Phrase is Incomplete. We'll be right back. Woo! This has been a fun show, you guys. It has been so much fun having Elias Valderrama with us tonight to enjoy and get his exposure as the newest host on the Orange and Blue Network. Before we get out of here, E, I want to ask you to say one phrase for us because your new show with Adon Diaz is going to be entirely in Spanish. Will you say for us in Spanish the way you would talk, hosting your own, co-hosting on your own podcast, coming soon to the Orange and Blue Network, Viva los Broncos? Would you say that for us, my friend?
Of course. Damas y caballeros de todo el mundo, aquí viniendo muy rápido es Viva los Broncos! Ándale, vámonos.
Oh my God!
Yes!
That's awesome.
I love it, man. I am so that was beautiful, man. Like the only way that could have been better is if you threw in there go.
Right?
I love it, brother, and I am so pumped that you are joining the network and that you are going to be be one of the guys, one of the crew. I hope you're just as excited to be joining us as we are to have you joining us. Do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Overall, thank you guys. I appreciate this opportunity here. I'm super excited to be part of this as well. You know what? It's going to be a great weekend here for us. Let's go Broncos, man. Like, I feel like overall, like, even though I did say we were going 1-1, in my heart, I say we're going to win both these games. But, I still have to think logically, think about that. But as a huge super fan, Broncos.
And that's the thing about doing what we do. It's so hard sometimes to take off the orange lenses. And as someone who believes that this team can win every single game because we love our Broncos so much, to also be able to look at it logically. Yeah, it is hard. But you get used to it. And hey, I'm glad you're excited to be part of this. Wait until I send you your miniature football player caricature that I'm going to get designed of you. You're going to love it. They're a lot of fun and they appear on all of our thumbnails. Perfect. So I'm going to start working on all that, and we're going to have your show launching soon. Jay, do you have any final thoughts today?
Just welcoming the Bronco Libre in the house, dude. It's so awesome to have you. Very excited to start working with you. And man, you like I said before, you came at perfect time, man, because we got positive vibes to churn on. Like, it's so nice to have game weeks that, like, man, you just feel good all week long with some good football to watch. So I'm just happy to have you, man, and look forward to some victories here in our future.
Excellent. Thank you.
Amen. my final thoughts, guys. Again, thank you, E, for joining us, and thank you for joining the Orange and Blue Network. We're so excited to have you. We're so pumped. We know you're going to help us go to great places that we have not been able to go before with the fan base that you individually have of your own. And of course, with a whole new fan base that we're going to try to pull in. We are so excited to have you. I'm so excited for this game. I know that the Broncos, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a fight, but I know that the Broncos can get it done. Go Broncos. Let's walk into Baltimore and make the Ravens and pull the Ravens' arm behind their back and make them cry nevermore.
Yeah.
This has been a little on the nose there, Jay. But D-Rock gives E some applause, a piece, and a salute. Guys, we thank you for joining us on the Halloween week edition. And by the way, real quick, we haven't said it all week or all show. Happy Halloween, everybody. I will be going into the neighborhood with my kids all dressed as Stormtroopers, Power Rangers, and Master Chief from Halo, but I will be the Mile High Viking walking down my street with my full face paint and beard painted and everything. It's going to be a blast. Happy Halloween to everybody. Have a safe one. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. I'm a diabetic, so I won't be eating the sugar, so I hope you guys get all the sugar for me. And we love you guys. This has been the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on the MHRT Network. If you have not already, please jump on over to Orange and Blue Network, like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Check out the audio version of all of our podcasts wherever you listen to your favorites. But then jump over to MHRT Network, our partner. Give us a like, subscribe, share, comment, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and even on Instagram, guys. We appreciate all of you more than you can know. Wherever a Broncos fan is, that's Broncos country. Wherever they stand is Broncos country. We know it. You know it. Let's go, Broncos. Beat the Ravens. Good night, y'all. Mile High salute.
Let's go.
Orange and Blue, we're here for you. Talking Broncos all day through. No stopping us, we're on the loose. Come join the crew, no bad news. Podcast vibes so fresh and true. Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue. Catching up on all that we knew. Hit play, let the episodes accrue. Nothing rhymes with